Hello, I'm Val, and in this yoga session we're going to explore yoga for people with high blood pressure, hypertension. You don't have to have hypertension to practice this session. You can practice it, it's just part of your general practice. You will see I'm surrounded by props. That's because we need to think about what we need to encourage chest to open, allowing the head and neck to relax, and to support us in our practice if we've got high blood pressure. I'm going to run through a few of the things I've got here. Importantly, if you've got high blood pressure, please stop if you feel in any way unwell. If you start to feel agitated, if you get a buzzing in your ears, if you feel anything approaching a headache, please stop. The best thing you can do with high blood pressure in a yogic sense is alternate nostril breathing. So I made a video about that a little while ago, and I'm sure that we can pop the link on here. What props have we got? Oh, sorry, some pointers as well. So, high blood pressure, we don't take the head back. Okay, no looking up to the ceiling. And also, we try not to work with the arms extended above the head. So let's run through some props. We want, if you haven't got a bolster, you can use a sleeping bag and a stuff sack if it's going to be big enough. Roll up a duvet, have a look in your laundry cupboard and see what you've got. Maybe you're going to fold a pillow in half and tie it with some ties. The bolster is here to put under our back when we go legs up the wall, so we want a bit of clear wall space as well. I'm actually going to use the cupboard door because that's better for where you can see, and this cupboard is very secure against the wall. So it's to go under below our back when we put legs up wall, and to go beneath the spine when we lay down in Shavasana to encourage us to open the chest. And you might even want to put it under your heels if you're comfortable laying with the shoulders down. We've got a folded blanket which we're going to use to build up from the floor to allow the head to rest on when we do our dog and when we do our forward bend. You might have something like a little bean bag you can use instead of a bolster, or to bring the floor up to you. We've got a belt because we're going to have a stretch through the leg. So that belt's going to go around the foot. We're going to take the leg out to the side. So we've got a belt. I've got 2 yoga blocks. This is if you've got tight hamstrings and you want to bring the floor up to you, but it's also to build up to put the head on when we're in forward bend or dog posture. And I've got a towel there that's sitting on my chair. So again, that's to build up the floor to allow the head to relax. The chair is for those of you that can't fold forwards enough to come down, to bring the head down towards the floor, and actually the chair base is a better height and it's more stable for you. Working on the chair, you might want to have the chair against the wall so that it doesn't move. And you might have towels to block up your knees when we sit in our cobra posture, but the blocks can do that as well. So that's what this wide array of items are for. I wouldn't usually have my yoga space so cluttered. I'd only have what I need. So I'm going to pop everything to one side so that we can start laying in Shavasana. If laying flat on your back doesn't work for you, have something like a folded towel down on your mat. When you lay yourself back, it goes just under the shoulders and under the head. We don't want that head to be rolling back. The chin wants to be level or tilting in slightly. So if you need something a little higher, you put something a little higher in. Remember, this all relates to hypertension. If laying down isn't right for you, Then don't feel you have to lay down. Bring yourself to a here and now position, from a seated position. So if lower back's tight, you might have those knees bent, feet flat to the floor, otherwise the legs stretch away. Ultimately, we're working towards having those legs stretched away, but you need to listen to and work with your body. It's part of our yoga to listen to the body, work with the body. Closing the eyes, making any little wriggles, any movements you need to settle your body. A few nice deep breaths. So we're breathing in deeply. There's no hold of the in-breath with hypertension, with high blood pressure, and breathing out thoroughly. Might be a little hold at the end of the out-breath. Breathing in, nice and deep, really making the muscles work for you. And breathing out without any hold. Breathe out thoroughly, perhaps even drawing those tummy muscles down. Might hold before you breathe in. Breathing out without any hold. Nice deep in-breaths. No hold, and breathing out thoroughly. But check around your body, make sure you've relaxed and released. If you've got very high blood pressure, this might be the only thing you want to do. Simply relax in your Shavasana. Turn off from your day. Bring your focus into your body. If you feel unwell, if you feel the blood rising, if you feel any thumping in the head, any ringing in the ears, roll onto one side and steadily bring yourself to sitting whenever you're ready. But otherwise, we spend a few moments allowing the body to settle. And we're going to work next into our bridge posture. It might be that you want to keep your soft items underneath your shoulders and your head. You might be happy to work directly down onto the floor. We're going to bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the floor, bringing the heels in towards your bottom, and the feet are hip width apart. We're going to gently roll up and roll down for the first one. So keeping those shoulders released down, tilt through your pelvis, and then lift your hips up towards the ceiling, peeling your spine up off the mat. Remembering not to hold the breath, get to our peak, and we steadily roll down vertebrae by vertebrae until finally your hips are going to touch down and release. If that felt okay for you, you might want to hold the next one. If it wasn't right for you, then just leave this position. Relax. Focusing on your breath, making sure you breathe out fully. No holding of the in-breath. As you ready work on, tilt through the pelvis, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, peeling the spine up off the mat. Weights into the legs, into the shoulders. And when you're ready, softly rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your tailbone untucks. If your legs are a bit all over the place, you might want to bring those knees in together, or even take one of your items and place it between the knees to hold the knees comfortably hip width apart. If you feel you can get a taller lift, you might want to bring those heels in closer to the bottom. So this is going to be our last lift through. Tilt through the pelvis. Peel the spine up off the mat, lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Chest is open. Weight into feet and shoulders. Breathing. And controlling the lower as you're ready. And this time when you're down, when you're fully untucked, take a moment to bring the knees up, keep those knees slightly apart. Hands come underneath those knees. We have a little hug in. You might even want to lift your head in towards your knees just a little. And releasing the head and shoulders. And releasing those feet down to the mat. Next, we're going to work into our wide leg stretch. We're going to take our belt. It's up to you. Do you need those items still under the head and shoulders? Do you feel you can maybe slide them out to one side and lay flat down to the mat? Adjust as you need to. So the belt is going to go underneath the toes. Try not to go into the instep. Try to go underneath the toes. We're going to stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. Going to keep the other hip nice and firmly down onto the mat, so don't allow your bottom to lift. We don't want any lift of the hips. My belt is on my left foot, so it's left hand to left foot, and the leg goes out to the side. Allow gravity to take that foot out, keep the hips flat, breathing. Have a nice stretch and opening stretch into this thigh. Bringing the leg back. Might be that was enough for you. You might not be comfortable with the belt onto the foot. You might be happier taking the hand to the side of the foot. So work with what's right for you. Hips are flat. Taking the leg out to the side. We're in control of that leg. It's not rolling around freely. Breathing. Only hold the posture if you're happy to do so. And then bringing the leg back to centre. We'll do a third if you're happy to do so. Straightening that leg away to the ceiling. Try and take that foot out at hip level. Aware of that stretch, keeping the hips flat. Drawing leg to centre when you're ready. Now it's your choice. You might want to take the other foot up in the air and bring it in to the belt, swapping over. You might need to bring the foot down. However it works for you to get the belt onto the other foot. So holding the left side of the body down, stretching the right hand up towards the right foot and taking the right leg out towards the right. Keeping those hips nice and flat. Breathing. First one we might not want to hold it. This might be just an experiment to go out wide, see if the position suits us, and bringing the leg back. If you feel unwell, if you need to stop and leave this posture, then stop. If you feel you want to bring your padding under your shoulders, listen to your body and let it guide you with what's right. So, right leg out. Second time. Breathing, encouraging those hips to stay flat. You'll see I've dropped my knee out slightly, so really that should be upright, keeping that hip down. Breathing as I open through that inner thigh and bringing the leg to centre, having a little pause here. And the last one, taking the leg out to the side. Trying not to roll after it. Aware of what's happening in the lower back, hips feeling flat. Aware of the breath, in full control of that right leg. And then it can return to centre. Take the belt away. So that belt is finished with for the time being. Goes over there, out of the way. Let's have a little moment. So we're going to have a try for laying cobbler position. Might not suit you, give it a try. Soles of the feet together, knees dropping outwards. Have the hands under the thighs for a little support. Bring the knees in together. We're going to come up to sitting and do cobbler from a sitting position. So roll onto one side. push yourself up to sitting, taking care. Make sure your blood pressure feels okay. We haven't got any pressure building in the head. So you might need some props for this. I'm going to pick up my blocks purely because they're balanced, so they're both the same size. The soles of the feet go together and the knees drop open. Excuse me. Make sure you're sitting up through the hips, sitting up on your pelvis. Tuck the blocks in underneath so that those knees are supported. Soles of the feet together. Bring the feet in as close to you as you wish. And we sit nice and tall. Backs of the arms can rest on the knees if you want to encourage those knees to drop down. You might be holding the ankles. Sitting tall. Breathing. So adjust this position as you need to. You might find if you practice this that over time you can have less and less support underneath the knees. You might, if you're using blocks, they might move slightly away and encouraging the knees down. So as that moves away, the knees have to drop further to come into contact with the blocks. But remember, the idea of these props is that they support your body and that you're gently in touch with them. Be kind to yourself and work in the way that's right for you. Then we'll bring those knees in together. We're going to go into our forward bend, and this is going to see us using some props. Wide-legged forward bend. And we're going to stack some things in front of us to allow the head to relax and release in the forward bend. So, what do you need to be able to relax into your forward bend? I'm going to bring my bolster forwards. I'm going to make sure I've got my cushion, my pillow there. Have the blocks to the other side. So the idea is when I forward bend, my head is going to relax and release on here. So I might be building this up. It might be that I don't go very far forward at all. And here is where my head relaxes. Okay, so think about what you need. Build it up in front of you. We're going to be sliding the hands down the legs. Make sure we want it ideally so that the forehead relaxes and that you can still breathe. You're not shutting off. So your face doesn't disappear into the pillow. Now, I'm not quite sure how much I need. That will do for me, and I'll move it away slightly so I've got that breathing space. Hands on the legs, sitting nice and tall. Breathe in, high through the spine. As you breathe out, slide along your legs and allow your head to relax and release forwards. So I didn't quite get that set up there. If your hands come to your feet, hold the outer edges, don't pull your toes off. Try and relax and release. Lower back is open, legs are engaged, sliding up. Does that work for you? If it doesn't work for you, don't feel you need to repeat it. If you need to make any adjustments to your support, please make adjustments to your support. We're going to do 2 more for those of you who are happy to do so. Breathe in, think of nice and tall, and breathing out, sliding forwards. Hinge forwards from your hips. Allow the whole of the body to relax and release forwards. Don't worry so much about where the arms reach. Have you got a stretch in your lower back? Is the body releasing forwards between those legs? When you're ready to come up, use your in-breath to come up. Do you need to make any adjustments to your blocks? Are you happy to go again? If you're happy to go again, breathing in tall. Breathing out, sliding down those legs, hinging forwards. Allowing your head to relax and release onto your props. Letting go, resting in your forward bend. Breathing, opening the lower back. When you're ready to breathe in, coming up. Good. Take a moment. Allow your breathing to return to normal. Allow your heart rate to return to normal. When we're ready, we're going to come up to standing. Take your time to come up to standing. Don't be in a rush. So I'm just going to move the bolster out of the way a little. Coming up. Nice and steady. We are going to work into our forward bend, Uttanasana. If you're not very flexible and you want to have your chair, that's because your head's coming to the chair. Okay, I'm not going to work with the chair. Try not to push those hips back when we go forwards. I need to just get all my little bits and pieces together for my forward bend, which I think is going to be my bolster, and then let's try my block. Okay, so if I have soft knees, come down. Yes, I can get my forehead on it. If I turn it the other way, I'm still there with the forehead. Okay, so work out what you need. If you really struggle with your hamstrings, then you could bring the floor up to you. So I don't really want to mess with that one. We could put a block here, bringing the floor up to us. So you've taken the time to get all your props together. So use what you have around you. We're going to soften the knees, slide ourselves forwards, nice and steady under control. Bring the hands to the floor, might be fingertips, might be palms. We're going to settle our head on whatever our prop is. We're relaxing and releasing. Now the joy of a block is I can twist it to allow me to drop further. It might be that you can take a towel away, you can unfold something. So the top of the head should be relaxing, the body's forwards. And we take our time to steadily uncurl. Nice and gently with that chin tucked in, being aware of your blood pressure and how you feel. Does your head feel okay? No sense of pressure building in the head? If it doesn't, take a moment. You can always sit down. If you're happy to repeat, we'll go into the position again. Softening the knees, dropping the chin towards the chest, feet at hip width, and we're sliding into our forward bend. Bring your hands down, palms towards the mat, might just be on your fingertips. Allow your head and neck to release. Coming into touch with whatever your prop is. So the prop is lightly supporting your head so that the neck can relax. We're breathing. If you feel the pressure on the diaphragm, it might be that you need to take your feet a little wider. If your prop feels like it's moving away from you, bend your knees a little bit so you can come down a little more. You shouldn't be putting the weight into the head. We're just aware of the prop supporting the head. When we're ready to come up, keep that chin tucked in, bend the knees strongly, and steadily uncurl. Take your time coming up. Try not to get any sort of dizziness or any pressure in the head. Might be two or enough for you. You might be happy to do a third one. Remember, no holding of the in-breath. So feet are under hips, or a little wider if you need to. Soft knees, chin tucked in, roll forwards. Allow the hands to come down to the mat or onto the support. Release your head onto the support. Bring your forward bend. I'm just going to adjust that slightly, bringing it in closer to match where I'm bending forwards to. Make sure you're breathing. And listen to your body. You uncurl whenever you're ready and you take it nice and steady. Chin tucked in, knees bent. We move steadily, we're not in a rush. We allow ourselves a moment for the body to return. Our next posture is going to be our dog posture. Again, we'll be supporting the head. It may be that you're using the chair. I'm just going to take the bolster to one side to show you how it would look using the chair. So using the chair, make sure your chair is stable. You might want to place something on it so that if you've got a chair like this and got a solid base. So the hands can go to the sides of the chair. You can drop the forehead onto the chair and take a step back. So that might be where you're going. You might take the hands down to the mat. You're lifting those hips away, so we're lengthening and you're encouraging the chest to drop down. Okay, might be that the hands are along the back of the chair. Where do you need to be? This is a back bend, so we're thinking about dropping the belly forwards and having the chest dropping down through those arms. You can walk steadily in and uncurl if you're using your chair. So what if you don't need to use the chair? If you don't need the chair, then you're building something up from the mat that allows the head to relax and release. So again, I'm going to use the bolster, but you might have any amount of things here. Again, we need to think about having the space so that you can breathe when you're down. Curl down into your forward bend, take your hands either side of your support, and they're going to be about a foot, 30 centimetres into your support. We take the legs a little further away. If for any reason you feel uncomfortable here, you need to come down, you can bend knees and bring yourself down to relax. But otherwise, we're releasing that head down towards the support. We adjust our position so that we get our dog stretch. Hips are lifted, chest releasing down between those shoulders. We're upside down. If you're happy here, you can stay here. If you need to, you can relax and release, coming down onto your knees. Release back, head on your props. Take a moment, and when you're ready, toes can turn under. You can lift those hips up. You can relax the head onto the prop. Release into our dog posture. Staying for a few breaths if you're happy to. Remember, if it doesn't work for you, relax and release. Take care of yourself and your body. Gonna relax once more and then have a final lift into dog. So coming down, relaxing and releasing. If your head's on the chair, you'll be coming up to standing and then returning to head on the chair. So last one, toes tuck under, hips lift, relax and release the forehead onto the chair. Lengthen through the spine. Feel this is your best dog posture. So your choice, you might want to walk in and uncurl from this one. You might want to come down towards the mat into your child and rest your head on your prop. You take a moment between postures, a moment to check in with our breath, check in with our body, and make sure we're feeling okay. We're going to come down and we're going to do supported boat posture. So will you bring yourself close to your wall and bring your bolster with you? Supported boat posture. So boat posture is this one. Some of you will be familiar with it from class. A supported version may see the bolster into the back, the feet going up the wall. Now this is always a little bit of jiggling to get those feet to go up the wall. So I'm a little bit far away. I'm going to move in a bit closer. Walking the feet up. Toes are level with the eyes. Arms are stretched forwards. Supported boat posture. It may be I don't need the prop behind my back. Keep my spine nice and straight. Feet steady on the wall. When you want to relax, those feet come down. Have a little tuck in towards your knees. If you want to repeat, you can repeat. So with or without that prop, feet to come up the wall, toes want to be approximately level with your eyes. Soles of the feet flat to the wall, arms stretching forwards. You could of course put your heels onto your chair. You wouldn't have quite the same support. I know my chair's a little high for me to do this. Lengthening through the spine, keeping the chest open, shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. Enjoy being in your boat posture. You should feel this working through the muscles of the legs, tummy muscles. When you're ready to come down, feet come down, have a little hug. When you're ready, we're going to move into feet up the wall. Now, you will need your props, and there's a little bit of jiggling again to get into this position. So the bolster will go against the wall. You're going to try and get your bottom up on there. You might want your little blanket or folded towel, but underneath your shoulders and supporting the head a little. Get your bottom in as close to your bolster as you can. I've just realised you can't really see because of the other props. Now, let's see if we can do this. So, bottom is almost up onto that prop. Shoulders come down, roll onto the back. Take the feet up and bring the bolster in under the hips. Legs are up to the ceiling, relaxing and releasing through the shoulders. So you've turned your systems upside down. Feet are high, head is low. If this makes you feel unwell, then bring your feet down, lay on your side for a moment. Whenever you feel happy to, you can push yourself up to sitting. Remember, you're listening to your body and you're working in the way that's right for you. Stretching those feet away, relaxing and releasing into the hips, letting go through your shoulders. Tuning into your breath. Try not to have the chin tucking back overhead. Chin's either level or tucked in slightly. Should be able to allow your body to relax and release. Now, of course, you can stay here for as long as you are happy to do so. I'm going to move into Shavasana. So we do have a mid posture between our Shavasana and our feet up the wall. Just going to roll onto one side and push up. So the mid position is to lay in your Shavasana, but with your feet up on your bolster. You can either have knees bent, feet up, or the bolster underneath the ankles so that the feet are a little higher than the hips. So that might be used as an alternative from feet up the wall, or an alternative to what we're about to do now, which is open deeply into the chest. So making a little adjustment to all of these props. Let's take that over to one side. The bolster is going to go along the spine. How close you have it into your lower back will depend on you, but it does need to be underneath the head. So I've run out of space here. Let me just adjust slightly. Now you might find that you feel your head drops back, in which case place one of your towels underneath the head, just slightly in under the neck. So here we should be opening the chest. Shoulders relaxing and releasing. Make sure all those props are out of your way. We can take a few moments to relax and release. Remember, if this doesn't work, pick another position. Maybe just laying flat to the mat. Maybe bending your knees, having your feet flat. Maybe just a little something, a little towel under the head, no bolster under the spine. Chest should be nice and open, diaphragm moving freely. A few nice deep breaths. No holding of the in-breath. Check you've relaxed and release the muscles of the face, soften through the jaw. Relax and release your shoulders. Letting go through your arms, hands, fingers and thumbs. Aware of the movement of the breath through the body. As we breathe in, we open and expand. As we breathe out, we relax and release a sense of letting go. Lower back should be in a position that's comfortable for you. Tummy release. Relaxing into your hips and down through your legs, soft through knees and ankles. Relax through feet and toes. Allow every muscle in your body to relax and release. And bring your focus to your breath. In breath opening, creating space. Out breath, relaxing, releasing, letting everything go. How long you want to stay in your relaxation position is entirely down to you. I'm going to gently reawaken, having a little wriggle into those fingers and toes. And roll on to one side and ease into sitting. So these positions, these postures, are said to assist with lowering high blood pressure. Any form of yoga might help you to control your blood pressure, in a sense of bringing your focus into your body, releasing all things, and taking a moment for yourself, a moment to breathe well. Remember, if anything makes you feel unwell, please don't feel that you have to repeat it. If you're concerned about your blood pressure, you should, of course, see your doctor. You'll take a nice breath to finish, breathing in, stretching up, releasing as we breathe out. Thank you very much. Namaste.